Hi guys, I'm Brooke, Darwin, and I am tall. Right? You noticed. I've always been tall. This wasn't like I sprouted up overnight. And my mom was a fan of the Golden Girls. So ever since I was a little girl, I've had this fear that I was going to grow up to be like B. Arthur. You know, normal little girl anxieties. But now that I'm a grown-up and I'm doing comedy, people have assured me that this is an irrational fear because B. Arthur was much, much funnier than I am. So I'm not worried about that anymore. I am worried about my hair, though. I think that it makes me look a little bit cooler than I actually am. So here's what happened. I went in for a simple trim, and I walked out looking like a soccer mom. And, like, no offense if there are any soccer moms here tonight. You guys are great. But I'm not a mom yet. I don't want to look like one because, ew. So I just went to somebody else, and I was like, just make it edgy, like, cut it all off, do an overgrown pixie, and that's why I look so cool now. She's like, she doesn't look cool. She actually looks more like B. Arthur now. Shut up. I have a rescue dog, you guys. Thank you, I'm a really good person. I rescued her from a very trendy boutique in Studio City. And I think I was swindled because I paid $600 for my rescue dog. And she only came with 3 legs. Well, look, that's only half true. She's actually only missing like half a leg. So I call these arms and these legs. So it's the front right arm. It stops just below the elbow. So when we're out for walks, it looks more like she's favoring a paw. And a lot of times people will stop me and they'll be like, oh, what's wrong with her paw? And I'll be like, it's missing. Gets really annoying. Because now I have this anxiety. I'm thinking, does everybody think the same thing? That I'm just walking my dog on a bad paw? You know, just dragging her ass up Fryman Canyon. Come on. Mama's got to get her steps in. And look, I know that they're like trying to do a good thing, right? They're like speaking up for my dog because sometimes you need to do that. You see somebody in need. But I know what's going on with my dog. I'm her mother. I'm a very warm person. I am. But when I first meet somebody, I'm more of a handshake kind of girl, right? Like I prefer a handshake. But this is not enough for most people now. They want to hug you. And they do the same thing. You know, she's got me, this girl. They go like this. They're like, I'm a hugger. They do this. I'm a hugger. As if to scold you for going in for a handshake, you know, like, no, you shut off, closed person. I'm a hugger. Let me open you up with my embrace. Look, you may be a hugger, but you're still a stranger. So no thank you. Also, the high five. Not a fan. I was at a workout studio the other day, and this guy comes by, and he's like, good going, high five. And I'm thinking, oh, so he just wants to humiliate me. Because what is a high five? You have to do this. And look, this is a lot of work to go back, and then you're like slapping your hands together in the air. It just looks very stupid. So I try to avoid the high five. If I see it coming, I just kind of like try to ignore. But you can't do this, right? Because you'll always get, don't leave me hanging. And to that, I just want to say, I'm not leaving you anything. You got yourself up there. You know? And then it gets awkward, and then I like feel bad, and I just like give him a hug. I'm like, I'm a hugger. I'm a hugger. I don't like to feel stupid. I don't like when people judge me. This is probably why I don't like to do group activities by myself. Right? We all don't. Because we're worried, right? That people are going to be like, why is she alone? Does she not have any friends? So I'm trying to get myself out of this. I took myself to the movies by myself, and it was terrible. I'll never do it again. So what happened was I got there a few minutes before the movie started, just in time for theater chatter. Theater chatter. There's a father and a daughter up front playing I Spy in the theater. I spy something big and cream colored. Is it the screen? You got it! And then there's this group of friends, teenage movie critics that are tearing apart the writing of current TV shows. So that's what I got. There was a group of friends, and they were talking about Game of Thrones. And I wasn't up to date on the show, and so they were throwing some major spoilers out. And I'm thinking, I'm gonna have to turn around and say, stop talking about it. But I didn't want them to think I was a bitch. So I have this whole scenario in my head where I turn around, I'm like, hey, you guys, I'm not there yet. Can you just and they, to my face, they'd be very nice. They'd be like, oh yeah, sure, so sorry. And then I turn back around and they'd be like, what a bitch. Oh, and she's alone. No wonder, it's because she's a bitch. Poor little soccer mom. Where are her kids? I'm Brooke, Lynn, Darwin.